Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Keeko and welcome to another episode of Keekos Corner. Guys, what I'm doing today, I'm going to give you a little the subtitle for this episode is going to be called How That Deck Works. Guys, what this is for is I'm going to explain a little more in depth, a good 10 minute video or so about how this Naturia deck runs that I play. The reason I'm doing this is I have people ask me, what's so good about Naturias? They're weak for the most part and everything else. But guys, there's a big time strategy behind it. The strategy is it's very simple. Stall out your opponent, clear their field, poke for damage. Be able to stop what they do. Now, one thing about this deck is you do lose a little bit of hand advantage. So that's why we've got a few certain cards in here that we do for hand advantage, but also to try to keep some field advantage. So without further ado, I'm going to be switching back and forth, bringing the camera down to the mat here to kind of show you guys a few different things. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, one of the main new cards that we got out of Hidden Arsenal 3 for Naturias was Naturia Cliff. And we're running 3 of this guy right now. And he's a great card in this deck. He's a level 4, and when he's sent to the graveyard, you get to search out a level 4 lower Naturia monster and bring it to the field. Now, from what I understand, from what I've been told, if you sacrifice him or sink him with another monster and he's sent to the graveyard, I've heard that he misses the timing of getting his effect of the search. That I don't know. That I'm going to have to look into. So for now, we're going to pretend like he does not search if he is synced with or if he is sacrificed for. So basically, your basic monsters in this deck are 3 Naturia Cliffs, 1 Pineapple, at this moment anyway, 1 Horn Needle, 1 Tulip, we might go to 2, 2 Pumpkins, 3 Cosmo Beets, the other 2 are on the side here, 3 Bamboo Shoots, 2 Dragonflies, 1 Hydrangea, 1 Dandelion, 3 Naturia Cherries, and let me pull out the few other monsters that we have in here. Yeah, it's only Lone Fire. And I'm sorry guys, it's 2 Cosmo Beets, not 3. So basically guys, that's your monster lineup, and what I want to show you guys a few combos. One of the main strategies of the deck is to get this guy out, Bamboo Shoot. And what you do with Bamboo Shoot is when he is sacrificed using a Naturia monster, your opponent cannot activate any spells or traps. The only card that can really take him out is like Divine Wrath if it's played on his summoning, as well as Solemn Judgment and Solemn Warning. But those are very few and far between. Some people are not, a lot of people are not going to have those down at that moment, and you may have a card to balance it out to cancel it, such as one of my favorite tech cards for this format since, or not a tech card, but my favorite add-in for this format, which is 7 Tools of the Bandit. With all of the counter traps running around, this is a great card, especially if you 7 Tools, their Solemn Judgment, they pay 4,000 life points and you only pay 1,000. So to get out Bamboo Shoot, obviously any of your Naturias will work, but I'm going to explain a situation between a few different monsters, and those are going to be Naturia Cherries, Naturia Cosmo Beet, and Naturia Pineapple. And we'll also throw Cliff in there as well. Guys, the main thing I'm going to explain first of all is my favorite opening hand. If it happens, it's great to get game over with early, hopefully. So your opening hand, if you open with these 2 cards, you're golden. Basically, what Cosmo Beet does is on your opponent's summon, whether it's normal or special, you can summon him to the field. So if your opponent goes first and you start with this hand, even better. What you're going to do, your opponent maybe sets a back row or 2 and they normal or special, or they set a monster. Well, you just go special Cosmo Beet and defense. They can't attack this turn. That's great. You draw, sacrifice Cosmo Beet for Bamboo, and they already cannot use spells or traps. Hopefully you're able to overrun him. Maybe you'll have something like a Smashing Ground, which we're running double of in here, or you'll even have something down like a Solemn Judgment or a Dimensional Prison. So if they try to attack your bamboo with a stronger monster next turn, you'll be able to take them out. Okay, so now getting away from Cosmo Beat for a second. Naturia Cherry. Let's say you have one down, face down defense. When she goes to the graveyard by your opponent's effect of any kind or battle, you get to summon up to 2 cherries to the field. So what you can do, guys, is if you have him on the field and it's your turn, sack for bamboo. Cool. If not, your opponent attacks and sends him to the graveyard. Bring 2 more out. That is 2 more opportunities to sack with or for bamboo with your cherries, which would give you his card effect. Hopefully you can protect yourself a couple of times until he's out, or if you happen to top deck him next turn, even better. Next we're going to go with Pineapple. He's a great card when you have no pineapples on the field and no back row, and he is in the graveyard. He special summons back to the field. So he just constantly can keep coming back during certain instances. So it's really nice when you can get him back out to the field and sacrifice him for bamboo, because he can come back for later bamboo shoots when it occurs later in the game. And also we're going to go with Naturia Cliff. Cliff is kind of like the cherries in a way. You have him set face down, and you have bamboo in your hand, or if you draw it next turn, your opponent attacks him, flip, he gets his effect, goes to the graveyard, and you add a Naturia to the field. In that instance, you could even add a cherry, which means you could start that whole combo, which would stall you out for a couple more turns for it, or you could as well do Pineapple. Any of those would work just fine. So that's a couple of ways to get out your main guy, which is Bamboo Shoot. Another card I want to explain about is this guy, Naturia Dragonfly. And upon testing this deck, we'll see if we need to go to 3 or not. This guy is a great card in my opinion. When he is summoned to the field, he gains 200 attack for each Naturia monster in your graveyard, and he can't be destroyed by battle by a monster of 200 or more. So guys, when you have a cherry go to the graveyard, that's automatically 1. And then you get to summon out 2 more, and chances are those are going to be gone in a couple of turns. Your cliffs, you mainly set them in defense so that you can get his effect of the search, which gives you another one in your graveyard. You possibly lose a bamboo, you possibly lose a pineapple, maybe even a Cosmo Beat. Guys, his attack can pump up really, really fast. Even 1,000 extra on this guy gives you 22 attack, which is just an awesome beater. So great card in this deck, just because you have so many monsters that do go to the graveyard quickly. Next card we're going to go over is Hydrangea. This card, if he's in your hand and you activate an effect of a monster that's on the field that's a Naturia, he gets special summon. So that could be Dragonfly if the attack is going to change. Pineapple, Bamboo Shoot. They can't, you're activating the fact that they can't use spell or traps. Any of those. So it's a great card in here, but I'm only running 1. He has a 1900 attack and a 2000 defense, even though he's a level 5. Obviously, in this, Dandelion's good. Pumpkins are both good because you can search out, or when you summon a monster to the field, you can summon another Naturia monster from your hand if your opponent controls a monster. So, guys, you could easily bring out a tuner like Tulip and sink for 6 right into Barkion. You could bring him out and special summon a Cliff and sink. Now, even though we're under the assumption that you don't get Cliff's effect, I'm not sure if you do or not. I've got to check up on that, but it still gives you a level 4 to use. So you'd be able to bring out Dragonfly. You could bring out your Cosmo Beats. Anything that you would want to bring out like that, you can do with your pumpkins. Horn Needle. This is an interesting little card. When he's on the field, you contribute a Naturia monster other than itself to destroy a monster that's been special summoned. So it takes away the special summon. So guys, right here alone, you've taken away special summoning, you've taken away spells and traps, And if you have Barkion on the field, which is very easy to do, he lets you remove 2 cards from your graveyard, any 2 cards from play, to negate the activation of a trap card. So even if he's on the field and Bamboo is not, he's an extra check down for that. Guys, this card plays a big part in this deck. Monster Reborn, letting you bring back to sync or get another search, however you may intend to use it, as well as this card, Leo Drake's main. We're doing 3. He automatically makes one of your Naturias a 3,000 beater, and it lasts till the end of the turn. And so if you're able to clear the field or pump up over a monster and clear the way for the rest of your monsters, guys, it's just an awesome way to poke through. Obviously, we're running 7 Tools of the Bandit, just such a great card to counteract any of these cards that are popping up that are like Solemn Judgment and Warning and others. Also, your Lone Fires are nice. We got to have Pot of Duality in here. I'm just running 1 right now, but this is for hand advantage, just to help get another card in there that you need, even though it is technically a 1-for-1. Dark Hole, guys, just basic monster destruction, as well as 2 Mystical Space Typhoons for back row destruction. And guys, we're running a pretty good magic lineup in here as well, including Barkion's Bark. It's basically a cold wave for Naturias, but it only affects trap cards. Smashing Ground, we're running 2, just more monster destruction. And guys, the trap lineup is pretty good in here. It's real heavy and it's very difficult to get through. With your 2 Bottomless for your monster destruction, your Solemn Judgment for basically anything, Solemn is God right now. Cylinders to just reflect some good damage that they may send towards you, just reflect it right back, as well as Mirror Force, more monster destruction. We're going to stop most of what they can do with Dark Bribes. We're going to use 2 Deep Prisons to get rid of their monsters as well. And guys, my favorite for this deck right now is Starlight Road, with Mirror Force and Dark Hole and Black Rose Dragon and Delta Crow and all this stuff out. It is just too good, just absolutely too good of a card to not put it in this deck. So guys, all in all, it's a great deck. Absolutely love it. I've tried to show you as many of the combos as I can and the points to this deck. You do need to be running 3 Barkions if you can, as well as 2 Naturia Beast if you're able to, and your other basic synchros. So guys, I took about 13 minutes on this deck. I hope you really enjoyed it. I'm trying to go more in depth on this deck. I really love this deck very, very much, and I will be doing one for my Pineapple Plant deck very soon. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please check out Keekos Corner Episode 1, which will be up here in the sidebar. Please try to check out all the videos you can of mine, and please, any shout-outs that you can happen to get out for me, or any requests that you can send your friends saying, hey, please check out the Keeko 25 for whatever reason, they're all appreciated, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Keekos Corner Episode 2. And like I said, this is subtitled How This Deck Works. I will do many more of these in future over different decks. You know what it is, YouTube. Peace.